My name is Andrea Antoinette Jones. I am standing at a business building on Hidalgo Street and Post Oak Boulevard, and I'm being set up. So I was using this filmmaker app to put out the evidence about my pregnancy and how long I've been carrying. And as I was trying to save the video in the Galleria, it kept stopping at 50%. I erased stuff out of my phone. It said I had enough storage, and it kept stopping. And I had to leave the mall to make sure that it wasn't something happening with the wiring or the network settings of the area where I was in. And they started following me all around in their cars. They're swarming around trying to cover up my pregnancy, including tapping apps on my phone, where I had to delete the app with over 10 hours, like so much evidence that I had to put out. So this is my baby daddy. He was attacking me. I had originally covered his face. I'm pregnant by him, and the baby is alive. I shot him in self-defense, and they tried to kill me and the baby in the jail before my trial and said that they were raping my son that I have with him. So I had a vision last night while I was sleeping. This was me pregnant this morning at the bus stop. I had a vision of a woman coming to me in the spirit and asking, "Where is your son? I want to sue Cynthia Olvera for custody of your son because I'm worried about the little baby. I'm worried about him because of the information that I've been putting out, and she knows that something is wrong with them abusing me." And I said, "No, don't sue me for custody of my son. Help me. They're abusing me, pregnant outside. They've been abusing me. They have everybody setting me up. There's a judge named Tracy Gilbert that allowed Cynthia and Austin to sue me for custody of my son. I believe he's a part of a racist organization. It's called the Illuminati. He's forging documents and allowing them to set me up pregnant and starved at a bus stop. And they said that they were raping my son. So the Illuminati organization is affiliated with the Ku Klux Klan, Aryan Brotherhood, and Skull and Bones. And they said they were all raping my son. And he's setting it up to stage to frame me homeless on the streets and to allow people to rape my child and forge documents in his courtroom because they were saying because I shot Austin that they were racist. Cynthia Olvera is Austin's mother. She is Caucasian, and the police gave Cynthia, my son, there were 911 calls, witnesses that he was attacking me. I went for help out of my home with my child, and he continued to attack me. I was pregnant and bleeding when I went into Baytown Seafood Restaurant in Conroe, Texas, asking someone to help me. And Cynthia took my baby home and told me that she was a grand witch in the Illuminati, which is basically like the Ku Klux Klan, and said that she was raping my child. She said, so a grand witch, the definition of grand is old. She said she was an old witch in the Ku Klux Klan. Okay, so I'm coming into this apartment. It's open where the man gave me the food because they're trying to swarm over my voice recording to try to drown out my testimony. They're trying to mess up everything, all of my work from my styling. They're trying to mess up my image. So I'm about to record it in here. And this will probably be in the end of the video to let y'all know what I had to go through, that she had to stay in somebody's apartment complex so she could record her story about what y'all doing to her and her baby at a bus stop. So I explained on the video that they tapped the app to where I had to delete it, and I have to do it so quickly now. It was a 24-minute video that this was how I looked when I was smaller than this, pregnant, when they released me on the charges. They were trying to poison me to death, pregnant in the cell in the back of the Montgomery County Jail, saying they were raping my little boy with Austin Joseph Olvera, Cynthia, police, criminals, people that were racist, basically. And I told them that the shooting happened September 18, 2018. Austin had just been released from prison for assault July 10, 2018. He has drug possession charge, theft charge, assault, family violence, 2-year felony probation for assault. And they got my family to agree to allow them to murder me pregnant in the cell. And all of these different ethnicities of people were all trying to set me up to be killed. And the Lord was fighting for me, and I was released on the charges August 22nd, 2019 after being held 11 months in that condition, starved inside of the jail. I was smaller than this. My pregnancy was confirmed by a nurse named Charge Nurse Michelle, but the Conroe police wanted to continue to cover up my pregnancy with the staff at the Conroe Regional Hospital because of my fundal height and how small I was. My lawyer was Inger Chandler. That was an investigator that found out that I was not guilty for protecting myself, and I was released on the charges, but he allowed them to lie about my pregnancy. They trafficked me to black males with criminal charges, raping me from August 22nd, 2019 up until October 2020, when I was forced to start a YouTube channel after leaving the males and being on the streets, pregnant and starved and raped. And I started putting out my story. I went to Baytown hospitals. They lied and said that I wasn't pregnant for the Ku Klux Klan. I went to St. Luke's Hospital, and the doctor tried to crush my baby in my belly. I went to different hospitals around Houston, Texas that just continued to lie for them and say that I was not pregnant. And I had to receive donations, and I was lured to Arkansas after posting that they were doing this to me because I shot Austin in the leg. And my aunt Barbara Thomas lured me to Arkansas and then left me out on the streets. She said that I was pregnant, I needed to go to the doctor, and that she was afraid that I would have the baby inside of her home. And she made me leave her house, and they left me on the streets for Arkansas PD and white males to harass me. And I called my grandmother, who was allowing the Ku Klux Klan to chase me around the United States with this baby inside of me, and said that they were raping my child. This is my son that they said that they were raping. This is the son that we're trying to retrieve from them while they're setting me up. They have CVS setting me up to not use the restroom. Subway setting me up to not use the restroom, to have me dirty on the streets so Tracy can lie about them raping my child and say that they have custody of my child. They have every establishment, every women's shelter in the country staging to have me outside dirty because they all said they were raping him. And I'm trying to get my child from them. So my grandmother bought me a ticket to Atlanta and they tried to set me up there. I went to a shelter, and the shelter tried to kill the baby and fight me with Atlanta police because I had purchased a fetal heart monitor, which is the heartbeat recordings that you guys heard, which proves that I was pregnant. I was pregnant the entire time that the black males were raping me. They said they were going to let all the males in the jail rape me. All the males had criminal charges that were raping me, and they said they were going to let them rape my son and that they were going to rape my son to death with Cynthia O'Vera. So this is why everybody is swarming around, trying to cover up the evidence, trying to tap my apps, making me have to, forcing me to leave out of the mall to get away from them to try to post the information. I'm a great mom. I am pregnant with the child. It's still alive in me, and they're trying to starve my baby bump because, as you can see from the pictures from this morning, you can tell that I'm with child. I've been carrying the baby for 45 months, and the lawsuit about my pregnancy is $173 million, and they're trying to set me up to be murdered with all of the African Americans about the amount of my lawsuit because they had African Americans abusing me and said that they were letting the black Freemasons rape my little boy with Cynthia O'Vera. Some of the things that they said that they were doing to my child was making my son perform oral sex on hundreds of males. They said that they were giving my son AIDS and herpes. Cynthia O'Vera is not who she portrays herself to be in court, and neither is Judge Tracy Gilbert, to be allowing them to set me up pregnant and starved at a bus stop. They had them doing guerrilla starvation tactics on my pregnancy. I did not know that I was still pregnant the day of the shooting. I was bleeding out. And when I was in the jail, I told them that the baby was still alive in me, and they started poisoning us and starving me in the back of the jail. So there was so much more information about them having black gang members targeting me at the bus stops, having Metro drivers involved with dropping males off and asking them to give me marijuana. They're asking them to blow cigarette smoke in my face to try to make me smoke cigarettes. They're walking past me in the mall and looking at my stomach, and they're trying to do operations to starve me. So I'm going to make a video about a woman named Ashley that works at the CVS on Sage Road.